Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, a disabled man and his service animal attacked by 2 loose dogs in Edmonton. A rise in weapons calls, a look at the local impact on police following the BC shootings. And crafting creatures out of cutlery, an artist turning old forks, knives, and spoons into wild animals.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A disabled man is worried his service dog will have to retire early after the pair were attacked by 2 loose dogs in central Edmonton earlier this week. People who live in the area say there have been multiple dog attacks in recent months, and bylaw officers have only issued tickets. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Good girl, Papas. Yes, a good girl.
Martin Mojashik gets some comforting kisses from his service dog, Coco. The Great Dane was just examined by a vet after the pair were attacked by loose dogs earlier this week. The attack captured by a doorbell camera.
No, get out of here!
It just happened so fast. At first it was just the one dog, and then while I was fending that one off, another one came and started attacking Coco on the front of her face.
Mojashik had taken a cab from his home in Mayerthorpe to the Prince Charles neighborhood in central Edmonton for a medical appointment. He credits the cab driver for intervening in the chaos.
My crutch, he was swinging it around like it was Excalibur itself. It was just, he was my hero that day. Jerry really saved us from possibly much, much worse.
Coco has some minor bite wounds, but the worst of the damage for the dog and owner is emotional.
They may not certify her again. She may become reactionary and not suitable for service dog work. I close my eyes and that's all I see. That's all I see is those dogs attacking her, and she's my beloved friend.
People who live in the area tell CTV News these dogs have attacked others in the neighborhood.
These guys just seem to be constantly running free and causing nuisances.
Vet tech Erin Anderson says she's spoken with city bylaw officers who told her they've talked to the dog's owners and issued tickets.
You just feel like you keep reporting, and there's nothing that they can do but ticket.
The city confirms there have been multiple dog attacks reported in the area and said it will provide more information next week.
Okay, you're squishing my face now.
Mojashik says he'll keep Coco even if she can't be recertified. A new service dog would take years of training and tens of thousands of dollars he doesn't have. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
There have been several weapons calls at schools in Alberta after the Tumbler Ridge shootings in BC. Criminologists say heightened vigilance after this type of event is not unusual. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
Whenever you have a traumatic event, what happens is it triggers a trauma response.
Since Tuesday's shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, Alberta RCMP say they've responded to 4 weapons calls across the province. They say the first, in Edson, happened concurrently to the BC shootings. There were also calls in Sherwood Park, Fort McMurray, and High River in the days following. All 4 ended without incident, though there were arrests in Fort McMurray and Edson.
There's no way to really know if these weren't incidents that were already planned and, you know, they just happened to be executed all in around the same time, or if it was due to any other lingering effects and so on.
Criminologist Dan Jones says people react to incidents like Tumbler Ridge differently. He says it can lead to hypervigilance in the community or give people ideas. He says working as a police officer after the 9/11 attacks in 2001, he saw multiple bomb threats.
Some people do it because they want the attention. And again, then there's also the other increased calls because of hypervigilance.
When asked about the BC shootings, Education Minister Demetrius Nicolaides said he'll be requesting security audits from school boards, as well as a look at safety standards across the province.
Make sure that we have adequate minimum standards for our school divisions and evaluate whether those minimum standards need to be elevated or updated.
RCMP welcomed the hypervigilance from communities, saying they would rather go to a call they don't need to be at than not get the call that counts.
I don't think that with the current situations that have been going on and the current climate, I don't think there's such a thing as necessarily being, overcautious.
Both Edmonton's public and Catholic school boards say they're awaiting direction from the province on a security audit. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The RCMP officer who dropped off Justin Bone in Edmonton against a court order testified in court today. Bone is charged with killing 2 men in Edmonton's Chinatown in May of 2022. Prior to the deaths, Bone had been released from custody on conditions to stay at the home of a court-approved surety in Alberta Beach. He was also ordered not to be within Edmonton city limits. The RCMP officer who dropped him off testified that the surety was concerned about Bone hurting him or the property, and he wanted Bone to leave. The officer testified despite the court order, Bone had no money and Edmonton was the closest place with shelters. He and his supervisor testified they didn't consider arresting Bone for breach of recognizance because it hadn't been his decision to leave the surety's residence. The trial continues next week. Police have identified the woman who was found dead after a house fire earlier this week. Her name is Teresa Kachich, and she was 39 years old. Police say the home where her body was found caught fire Monday morning. A memorial is now growing outside. Edmonton police are not saying how she died, but the case has been deemed a homicide. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them. The Canada Border Services Agency seized more than 1,000 kilograms of drugs in a few separate busts at the Coots border crossing. That includes nearly 500 kilograms of cocaine and several kilograms of what's suspected to be heroin. Border officials say it was found inside a truck carrying a load of beverages heading for Calgary in late November. A second bust in early December found 300 kilograms of coke. A third inspection of a truck carrying vacuum parts led to officers seizing more than 200 kilograms of meth. All 3 drivers were arrested for smuggling. Nanos research says a large majority of Canadians believe the United States would support Alberta separating from Canada. In a recent survey involving a little more than 1,000 Canadians, 46% said they believe it's likely the United States would support Alberta leaving Canada. 38% thought it was somewhat likely. Chief data scientist Nick Nano says the numbers show Canadians are taking threats from U.S. President Donald Trump and the vocal contingent of Albertans unhappy with federation seriously.
You know, let's face it, everybody knows that U.S. President Trump has asserted that he'd be very happy for Canada to be the 51st state. So, you know, that narrative of annexation, connection, whatever you want to call it, is already out there.
Nano says other new data shows 44% of Canadians now see the United States and Trump as a major threat to Canadian security. That's compared to 17% in 2020. An abandoned vehicle that was poorly parked in West Edmonton for 2 weeks has been towed away. On Wednesday, people in the Edgemont neighborhood showed us this car, calling it a safety risk. It was parked away from the curb, had broken windows, flat tires, and tickets and warnings on the windshield. It sat there for nearly a month. Residents reached out to CTV News after they said they tried to get it towed multiple times without success. One person captured a photo showing the vehicle is now gone. They say it was towed away today. Connor McDavid scored the first Olympic goal of his career today against Switzerland. The Oilers captain opened the scoring for Canada on a power play early in the first period. McDavid also picked up 2 assists in Canada's 5-1 victory over the Swiss team. McDavid now has 6 points through his first 2 Olympic games. Team Canada's next game is Sunday morning against France. The women play Germany tomorrow morning. Hundreds of young hockey players are scoring big for the Stollery Children's Hospital. This weekend is the 15th annual Stollery Family Day Classic. A record 108 hockey teams will face off against one another at the Terwilliger Rec Centre. Money raised will go towards the Stollery Foundation's Giving Comfort program. It offers support to families who have to make an emergency trip to the hospital.
Get the chance to be able to receive items of comfort, whether it's a phone charger, a blanket, something they need, making their hospital stay a little bit less scary, helping to reduce that anxiety or fear of being in the hospital, and giving them all the comforts of home.
This year's fundraising goal is $500,000. More than $5 million has been raised since the tournament first started. It's the final stretch of what could possibly become the world's longest hockey game. 40 players are on the ice in Sherwood Park for a few more days, duking it out for top spot while raising money for blood cancer treatment. Here's a live stream of the game that's been going on since last Thursday. The goal is raising money to make a specific blood cancer treatment a permanent option at the Cross Cancer Institute.
raising money for this time for the CAR T cell therapy. It's going to be an amazing program at the Cross, one of a kind.
CAR T therapy is the reason I'm standing here. I went through 2 years of the traditional chemotherapy and radiation, and I relapsed 4 weeks after that. I was planning to go to hospice. I was offered a spot in the CAR T trial, and here I am. So it saved my life.
Both teams have recorded more than 11,000 shots on net so far. The winter event started in 2003, and since then the game has been held 8 times. This year's fundraising goal is $1 million. Organizers will match each dollar donated up to $100,000 from now until the final buzzer on Monday at 6 p.m. Josh, it's been cooling down a little bit as the week goes on. I'm sure the ice conditions were still a little sloppy at times. At least no one had to worry about frostbite, though.
No. In fact, temperatures overnight last night didn't even get below 0. It was right at the freezing mark for a morning low. That's going to change in a big way next week after that all wraps up. There's some significantly colder air coming our way. 7 degrees for a daytime high again today. 10 degrees above average. We've had a run here of days in the 6 to 9 degree range. We're currently at 5 in downtown Edmonton, a little cooler outside the city. I think tomorrow we're probably below 5 for a daytime high and then a little closer to 0 on Sunday. We'll get to that in a second, but first, this is what it looks like outside right now with CTV Drone. It's brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. A little bit of sunshine breaking through the clouds out there right now. It's kind of been a mix of sun and cloud through the course of the day today, and we'll continue to see some breaks for the next little bit. Just off to the west of the city, you can see right there, you've got a couple gaps. And then back further to the west, there's actually a little bit of precipitation that started to pop up there around Highway 16 and just off to the south. There's a slight chance you might see 1 or 2 snowflakes later on this evening in Edmonton, but I really don't think we're going to see much, if anything at all. Just cloudy skies overnight tonight. -5 to start the day tomorrow, so a little cooler tomorrow morning than it was this morning. Although the wind will be light overnight and through the day. We'll get to about 4 degrees with mixed sun and cloud tomorrow afternoon. 2 on Sunday, and then Monday, back below 0 for the first time for daytime highs since February 1st. Full look at your forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, the Upcycler, the man turning old utensils and empty propane tanks into works of art.
There's people like myself that are collecting those scraps and finding something to do with them.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
An artist south of Edmonton is getting creative with cutlery. He's managed to build an entire zoo out of old forks, spoons, and knives. And now he's finding success seeing propane tanks in a new light. David McCauley has spent a lot of time fixing old equipment in his central Alberta shop.
I was taking junk that people would look at and go, there's no way you're fixing that, and turn it into something.
One day that work sparked a new idea.
There was leftover pieces, so I just came down to the shop and I just started to create art.
Now, 6 years later, his workshop, the Upcycler, looks more like a zoo.
We've got the polar bear, the wolf, we've got an eagle, we've got the aquarium life.
Each animal crafted from cutlery.
This isn't something that I was educated to do or taught to do. This is something I learned to do by doing.
He started with different metals, but nothing looked quite right until he finally found his silverware lining.
When I started putting forks on it, I'm like, well, that's it. Right? And then now I had to find 25,000 forks.
Since his first piece, this pokey polar bear, McCauley has also finished Drew the peacock, Drake the duck, and Justin Beaver, complete with a nickel tail and glasses.
He looks angry without the glasses. And now he just looks like a smart beaver.
Lorraine Birkin is one of the half a dozen people working at the Upcycler.
We're always trying to outsource and just keep whatever we can out of the landfill.
Although she and McCauley say it never really feels like work.
When you have fun in life, you don't feel like you work, you're doing something right. I get to fork around every day.
McCauley is always traveling around Alberta looking for different metal materials to work with. His art is becoming so popular, people are now mailing him utensils. This package just arrived from Ontario.
People have sent them from Germany, from the Netherlands.
And they're not just utilizing utensils.
We want your propane tanks.
Macaulay started turning old tanks into light-up lanterns a couple of years ago.
I've got one lady that's got 30 in her yard in Texas.
There are hummingbirds, sports stars, even rock and roll legends like Ozzy Osbourne.
That's actually going to go to Sharon. No, it's a surprise.
He says he's already working on filling more than 300 orders this year. Now he wants to help other creators find similar success.
I have a huge vision. I have a huge goal to bring other artists out here and allow them space to create.
Allowing other artists to grow as his work glows. A local artist has a new piece in a high-profile location. Indigenous artist Lance Cardinal now has an installation at the Edmonton International Airport. You can find it on the arrivals level. Cardinal says he's been speaking to the airport about a collaboration for years. He wanted his piece to encompass the theme of welcoming people to the city, Treaty 6, and the Métis homeland. Cardinal says it's a dream come true.
I think every artist dreams of a piece like this where you have people seeing it every day, having thousands of guests walk by, see your work, and of course acknowledge Indigenous presence in our province. What a beautiful thing. It's very, very exciting.
This installation was unveiled today ahead of the International Indigenous Tourism Conference in Edmonton. That begins February 17th. Still to come tonight on CTV News, an Alberta music teacher has his work recognized by a national organization.
Trying to light that fire and instill some confidence in them, some sense of belonging and some community, right?
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A school band director in Central Alberta is being recognized by the Juno Awards as a finalist for Music Teacher of the Year. Alex Hutchin at Cremona School is one of 5 finalists and the only one outside of Ontario and Quebec. He started at the school in 2017. He says at that time there was less than 50 kids taking band class in the entire school. Since then, he's grown the program to more than 150 students. Hutchin says he's honored to be nominated and credits the nomination to the hard work and commitment of his students.
Yeah, I'm just really just wanting to give them the joy of music, and just the same way that I received the gift from my former teachers, right? Like just trying to light that fire and instill some confidence in them, some sense of belonging and some community, right? Like that's what it's all about.
If Hutchin wins, he'll take home $10,000, a Juno, of course, and a grant towards the school's music program. He says that would be spent on new instruments. The Junos, by the way, will be held on March 29th. Josh, the forecast this week has been music to my ears.
I thought you were going to go award winner.
I'll give you
one or the other.
You know, I should have made you a little award because I can't remember the last time we had weather like this in February, but it's coming to an end, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2023, the first half of February was fairly warm, and then it got really cold for a couple of days towards the end of the month. I think this year's cold spell is probably going to last a little bit longer than that one back in 2023. It's 5 degrees outside right now. We'll talk about the cold spell in a moment. River Valley Sky Camps brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed rider, it's free. Mix of sun and cloud outside in Edmonton right now. We're at 3 degrees in Fort McMurray as well as Grand Prairie. It's 2 in Red Deer and -1 already in Slave Lake. We'll see daytime highs still above 0 tomorrow and Sunday, and then Monday the cool down really starts to kick in. You can see this mild southwesterly flow, it's drawing in some cloud cover, and off to the west, a little bit of flurry activity there right along Highway 16 and just off to the south. It's still a long ways west of the Edmonton region, and so although there is a slight chance you may see that kind of creep up close to the west end of Edmonton, I don't think we'll see much, if anything, in the way of snow tonight. It's Monday night into Tuesday that has the best chances of being some accumulating snow here in the city. There's tomorrow morning, some snow back from Rocky Mountain House to the west. You might see a few flurries pass through the Red Deer region sort of mid-afternoon tomorrow. All of that avoids Edmonton, though. Mix of sun and cloud again tomorrow. And then Saturday night into Sunday morning, some snow across northern parts of the province. But that as well likely misses Edmonton. And so it's really through the weekend. This is the big story. Mild temperatures, and then the cold front sweeps its way in from the north late Sunday and that ushers in the cool down for next week. -10 in Fort McMurray, it's -11 in Grand Prairie, -8 in Red Deer. Those are your morning lows for tomorrow. -5 here in the city. You'll be a degree or 3 above zero in northeastern Alberta, right around the freezing mark with some sunshine in Grand Prairie, and about 4 degrees in through the Hinton Edson areas, 3 or 4 in Jasper with the chance of some light snow. As we said, Red Deer, maybe a couple scattered flurries in the afternoon, high of about 2 or 3, and right around the freezing mark for Lloydminster and Coronation. Here in the city, we'll slide to -5 tomorrow morning, get some clouds through this evening and overnight tonight. Those will break a little bit. I don't think we'll get bright blue skies, but we should see some sun at least poking through the clouds tomorrow afternoon with a high of about 4. That's cooler than the past couple of days, but still way above average. 2 on Sunday, and then -5 Monday. Here's your chance of some flurries or light snow Monday night, Tuesday. This could be a significant accumulation for parts of central and north central Alberta. Still a couple days away, but early next week we'll have a little better handle on that. Windy as well, gusts kicking around that wind, so blowing snow could be a problem if you have travel plans for Tuesday into Wednesday. And look at those daytime highs. Somewhere in the -10 to -15 range from Tuesday right through the end of the 10-day forecast, and probably right through to the end of the month.
All right, Josh, thank you. When we return, love at what cost? Tallying up what some people plan to spend on Valentine's Day.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Coming up Monday on Your Morning, the risks of short-form video platforms like TikTok. New research says it's different than traditional social media, how it impacts development, and what parents can do.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Leading Ladies of Broadway with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Albertans are expected to spend more this Valentine's Day, with one florist just trying to keep up. Moneris data indicates Alberta is above the national average when it comes to spending. In 2025, Albertans spent 53% more on Valentine's Day compared to 2024. Moneris also says florists saw a 522% uptick in sales last year. One florist expects to fill around 300 orders for Valentine's Day. That's more than 4 times their sales in a typical week.
The cost of flowers has gone up, but we're very happy to have this busy days, especially Valentine's and Mother's Day and all these heavier dates are very important for our business.
Moneris says having Valentine's Day on a Saturday also pushes people to spend more. That's our show. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great weekend.